away.
We are a little bit. Good morning.
Good morning. I was just saying we seem really far away from the camera.
We're a little bit rushed this morning.
Yeah.
So,
ooh ah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Waffle Time.
An early edition.
Early edition.
I was going to say half an hour early, but it's more like 22 minutes early.
I was going to say the Twilight edition, but then we'll have to dress as vampires and...
Yeah, we're not going down that.
I don't know, get all nipply and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so
Your
this is
intros
Waffle
get worse,
Time.
man.
I'm Mitto, this is James. We're a pair of idiots. We talk about RC stuff. This morning we're going to talk about some things that are happening here, some stuff that's arrived. We've got international visitors coming from multiple countries.
I will give you a bit of a heads up. This is a bit of a rushed one this morning because we do have a lot to get on with, including an airport run to go and pick up said international guests.
One of them.
So, yeah.
The other ones are making their own way here.
Which is what we like.
Which is going to be interesting.
So, yeah.
We've got some international visitors. We've got some more discounts for you guys because we did the 20% off MSC last week. Mega deal.
People seem to have loved.
Yeah, that's worked out.
A lot of orders, which is good.
So we've got a bit of that. One you can already see on the counter, but we'll waffle about that in a minute. We've got some new bits and bobs in, and as always, at the end, we'll have question time.
Yeah.
And respond to people's...
And then I will literally run out of the door
needs.
And speed down to Heathrow to go and pick up Lasser.
No speeding.
No speeding, sorry. I will cruise gently.
Actually, what you'll be doing is cruising up to 70 miles an hour, then dropping to 50, then up to 70, and dropping to 50, because you're still on running miles.
That's true. Actually, I'm just going to sit at 70 and 5th, so it revs a bit higher. That's kind of what I've heard is a good thing to do. Because then you're not sitting at the actual cruising speed.
Sustained load.
Yeah, okay.
It's not good.
I'll just drop to 3rd then.
How many miles have you done?
600.
600?
Yeah.
Ooh, you get at least another 100 on there today, won't you? You excited?
Probably another 120, 130.
You might as well just kick the shit out of it, to be fair. If anything's not worn in at 600 miles, it's not going to wear in until you beat on it.
I'm just going to be fair, you say kick the shit out of it, I'm going to go and sit on the motorway in traffic, most likely.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not going to do a lot of anything.
Well, it's an hour and a half journey, and it has previously taken me 4 hours.
Yeah.
Whilst dropping...
it took us a long time.
Whilst dropping Mizunagor off from Tetsujin for an international flight, which he got to 15 minutes before it took off, and he still got on it. I have no idea how he did that.
When we went to Japan, we were a bit screwed, weren't we? We got stuck in traffic.
Oh,
we got nearly there and then stuck in traffic that didn't move for a good hour and a half.
Yeah. And then rushed in and then faff with controllers because they have triggers on. Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway.
We probably warned Lasser about that, actually. Oops, a bit late now.
Too late now. So, yeah, that was not fun.
Anyway, first item
Speaking of Lasser, first item on list is the international visitors, and we have Lasser, who James just mentioned. Lasser Sorensen, come from Norway. Yokomo professional driver. Yeah. And I believe he is maybe the only full-time professional RC driver in Europe at the moment. That is his day job.
Is it really?
It is.
I didn't know he was actual professional.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a title.
He's turned it into his day job.
That's pretty impressive.
So, he's got some good backing and some good sponsors. Some from full size, I believe. Yeah. Or small size, is it called?
Well,
I don't know.
I think he's
but he's doing good.
He's doing pretty good. He does pretty well in competitions. He impressed us particularly at the Worlds. With some ace driving. And I believe he's also off to Malaysia next month to drift
TDC.
With the rest of the Japanese Yokomo drivers.
Yep. Wonder how
kind of cool.
He'll get on there.
So who else is coming?
Well, I was also going to say Lasser is heading the King of Europe RC series.
Of course. Yeah.
So he's doing a lot of work with King of Europe, and possibly we find some stuff out about that today.
Yep.
We shall see. The other guys we've got coming are from Germany.
Yep. Hopefully with some beers.
Probably with some beers.
That'd be nice.
We have Sebastian Wunder, who is the barbecue king. And kindly let me stay in his house when I went over for Gamescom. That was pretty hilarious. Max Gleisner, although when you write it down, it looks like it's Gleibner.
Yeah.
It could be Gleibner, but I'm pretty sure it's Gleisner.
Good old English people with a complete lack of the extra characters on keyboards.
I can speak Japanese, man.
Can't write it.
I've got a language. No, that's true. That's true. But I don't think even Japanese people can write Japanese. It makes no sense. Unless it's in Romaji, which is basically English.
Yeah.
And also Tim Lepperhoff. And I believe Tim, I can't remember if Tim is the guy who paints amazing bodies or he's a guy who does judging. I know they're completely separate
I believe
things.
I believe.
But anyway, I've met them all. Sebastian, obviously, I remember very well because he let me stay in his house. He has an amazing apartment.
Yeah,
amazing.
Everybody does, it seems, in our seat.
Apart from us. Actually, no, yours is baller.
I was gonna say mine's all right.
I've got like a standard box house, and you've got some baller ass double height electric windows apartment and a brand new car.
That was fancy in the 80s.
He's the rich guy. He's the Phil Morrison of Solar Sea.
I'm just a deck guy, man.
The deck guy. Okay, so yeah, we got those guys coming. Pretty hyped about that. Cool. Tomorrow's, I'd imagine, is going to be mental. So if you're planning on coming in tomorrow,
it's always worth booking. Always worth, because
particularly tomorrow,
especially if you're traveling. I expect tomorrow to be rammed. It's busy enough that I'm working it as well because we're expecting to be busy. It's not to say it's going to be too busy to have fun. It's not to say if you're running rear-wheel drive, you shouldn't come down because you're going to get rammed off the track. It's not like that at all.
Rear-wheel drive's already booked. And local guys.
Some of the German guys are running rear-wheel drive as well. I think Lasse said he hasn't got space to bring his rear-wheel drive chassis, but there's no doubt I'll end up landing in my RMX for a bit anyway.
He's scared of Mark Bennett's speed, man.
He's going to be he's going to get schooled.
I wonder if he's watching the airport, like listening to us doing, I'm not scared, I'm a Viking.
or he just turns around and doesn't get on the flight.
Yeah. Those guys are mean. I'm going home. Yeah, he actually said before, good luck with Waffle Time. Anyway, we should stop waffling about international visitors.
Had new stock.
But we have had new stock. Should we go with new stock?
No, go with the left option.
Go with the left
option. Because this one's quick and easy. This is just a simple restock. We've had some...
Well, let's do these two things first.
No, let's do that one first, because I said it. Let's do it.
But that relates to the other one.
Yeah, which leads us on to the next one.
Yeah. See, you did.
See, yeah.
See, that's clever.
Get on. Yeah, I'm not slow like you, man.
Dun.
We actually have batteries back in stock, which is good. It's been a while.
Power, Dean's connected.
The 4300s.
4300s, 35C. Super reliable, good batteries.
The Pro Series, the new version. We have basically struggled with batteries quite a lot lately. In fact, that reminds me, you should probably get the other option out there in a bit.
The test. Test model.
We've struggled. Basically, the UK distributor of Thunder Power has been clearing old stock, making way for new stock, but not having a lot of new stock in. They've actually not got any Thunder Power 3800 shorties, which are our go-to best option ever battery.
I'm running them, you're running them, everybody's running them.
Yeah. So we're now testing some Nosram 4700s, which are slightly lower C rating, but they're also quite expensive, if I remember right. I think they're 75 or 80 pounds.
They've got VTEC, yo.
They've got VTEC, so
literally VTEC.
We're going to be testing those over the weekend, and we'll see how we get on. If they're any good, we'll report back next week.
I wonder how they actually look in a chassis, because I mean, on mine,
put it in.
Well, yeah,
it'll only take you 2 seconds.
I have revamped an old body.
I was going to say,
it's back alive.
Revamped or just
put it back on?
Yeah. Just reused.
I've got some bodies that just seem to be like go-to.
I'm going to suggest you don't plug it in.
Okay. I think on this, it's probably going to look about the best it can look.
Are the terminals the same way around? I never thought to check that.
Yes, I believe so, but I'm not going to plug it in just in case. Because
you haven't got any marks on yours, have you?
No. Okay.
Yeah, they're the same way.
Yeah, it's slightly bigger than the
height.
Width.
Okay.
So it was a little troublesome to get the actual battery in.
But yours is a tight fit, isn't it? Whereas on a
not mega tight. On the Thunder Powers, it's about perfect. You know, it's just about easy. That had to apply a little pressure to close it.
Yeah, chuck it in an RMX and see how it fits in that.
But I don't know. I think the red's a bit.
The red's a bit red, isn't it? That's the problem, and it's not the same red as the rest of your red.
Yeah.
That's the issue with that. But if it performs well, you can kind of get past that, can't you? Yank it out of that and let's see how it
to a degree. You ain't winning best chassis with it, though.
You just have to keep a black option for that one. Let's bang it in here and just see if it fits with no problems. Yeah, the terminals are the exact same way around.
You can see it clear on yours. A little tighter.
Fits no problem at all. Loads of room.
Yeah.
Like in actual fact, if you look, because I haven't got any foam in this.
It shuffles about a little.
Yeah, it will still shuffle in all directions. So yeah, kind of looks a little bit odd, but again, I I'm not one for caring about the looks and stuff like that. As long as it works well, that's all.
Well, if it performs, it performs, and you can, we can always change the color of them, I suppose, or something like that.
I'm kind of interested in the fact that it's see-through, translucent, so you can see the cells, but part of me also doesn't like that. It's a bit of a weird one. Like, I think it's kind of cool, but
I mean,
I'm not sure.
For me, I think I'd take the stickers off and cover the top in something.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. It kind of all depends. I'm sure on some color chassis it won't matter, but we're going to give that a test, and just see what we think.
Well, hopefully it'll be all right. I can't imagine it being bad because people do rate Nosram highly.
Yeah.
So we're testing those. We got the Thunder Power Pro RC back in stock, and the lead on Jay was talking about was the Thunder Power
You
Pro
may have
RC.
noticed the big giant.
So to the big thing, it says, well, to me it says, I can't even no elas, something like that. It's backwards on our screen. On sale.
20% off.
20% off Thunder Power chargers.
Instead of £80, they are £64,
including
VAT.
Had them on sale for a week or two.
Yeah.
And we've literally got the last couple in stock.
Yeah,
so
got a few left.
Once that's done, that's done.
They'll
they won't be on sale anymore.
And they won't be discounted again.
So get one while you can. They are on Mega.
I've been using mine for 2 years, I think now. Is it about 2 years?
Yeah, and yours is real good.
Yeah,
like it's never missed.
The only issue I've ever had with mine is when I've had damaged cables, which is nothing to do with the charger. It's to do with my battery cables that have been pulled and folded in.
Well, it says a lot that it's been long enough that your cables have gone a couple of times.
Yeah, I've had 2.
But the charger's still absolutely
I'm on my
fine.
3rd set of cables that we've made up.
Yeah, there you go. So
and the charger's still bang on. It's the only one I trust. In fact, first thing I said to Mitto is let's charge that on mine, that new battery.
Yeah,
because it's the only one I trust.
He doesn't trust mine, even though it's double the price.
Double the price, half the quality.
Anywho,
the other thing we asked you last week was what kind of discounts you wanted to see from us, and quite a lot of people mentioned they wanted to see an AccuVance bundle.
Bundle deal.
We're going to. It's not live on the site yet, and it may not be until Monday, to be perfectly honest, or maybe later on today, depending on what time I get back from the airport. But
Jay's the internet guy.
We are going to be putting together a bundle that will be a good, healthy discount if you buy together a motor, an ESC, and a TAL2 together, and it will be a very tidy little discount with the option of adding on a capacitor at the same discount if you wanted to.
Yep.
So
that'll be motor ESC.
Just to clarify, the ESCs do come with the surge killer capacitor, but not the fancy ones.
Yeah.
So you don't need a capacitor to get up and running, but if you're getting a discount, you might as well get one of the fancy ones like the Master or the Boost or the Turbo.
And we'll probably put the option on there for bullet connectors, maybe.
Probably not, in all honesty.
Probably not then. Sorry.
Just because the discounts
are. I'm trying to help you guys.
So yeah, but it's not an option for us, unfortunately.
Well, anyway, it means that you can get a better deal on the AccuVance stuff. So last week's discount was the MST stuff. Mega discount. This week we've got Thunder Power chargers still on discount for you, and we've got an AccuVance deal that we're gonna put out there. We'll be putting that on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it'll hit Instagram and Twitter and all those sorts of things that we do as well.
Reminded me of something I have to do. So you need to.
What have we done?
You've just reminded me of something I forgot to do before I started this. So
okay, set up a Twitter?
No,
crap, we haven't got Twitter.
No.
So yeah, that's what's going on there. We are constantly looking for ways to kind of help you guys out, and sort of give you a reward back for supporting us really, and being part of what we do. It's all good. My chair's gone really squeaky today.
I think you've got my chair for once.
Do you tend to sit more still than I do? You do. I fidget around, don't I?
I don't think so.
Oh well. Right. Moving on to the next topic. Have you done what you need to do? It looks like you just. It looks like you're just putting smiley faces.
No, I've messed up my tablet, so I actually need to go to a web address that includes a slash, and my tablet currently does not have an option of a slash. It has Chinese characters available.
Just do an 8 and then some semicolons and a D at the end.
Yeah, no. There we go. Nearly.
Does it work?
I'll work it out anyway. I can do that later, but it's not something.
Don't worry, we're not in the middle of waffle time.
Right. That's just quite an important thing we've got to get done. So that means we've got to finish 5 minutes earlier.
Okay. Right. So
the other stock that we've just had arrive about 10 minutes before we went live on this, hence the delay.
Well, we'll go with the stuff that maybe wouldn't normally be expected from us.
No.
We've got a bunch of drift package stuff.
Yeah. Essentially, Overdose have just restocked a bunch of the original drift package parts. I got a couple of bits in just to see if there's any interest in them. To be honest, there's not many people running the drift package here, but there are a bunch of people running DPRs and running FRDs, and I've got my
Imadokis, all these kinds of things. They will.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff on them. So we have we only got black for the time being because, to be honest, the stock wasn't really available on other colours when we placed this order. But we've got the black prop shaft, we've got the black battery strap, which also accommodates a shorty, which is a good bonus.
Yes.
And the black battery holder, which is another good bonus item, which tends to look rather nice. I, of course, have one of each of those going on my gold thing.
Yeah, because that makes sense. I've got a gold car, I've put black bits on it.
I can't get gold, so I've got to get black. They haven't made gold.
It's fair enough. The prop shaft is actually a new style, which is very similar to the Deval latest prop shaft.
I'm not sure it is a new style. I think it's been around a while. I think
with the scallops.
I think it's a rerun. I think they've been like that for a long time.
Really?
To be honest, yeah.
I didn't think they were like that. I thought they were plainer. It's got scallops out of it, and it's got the flat sides on it.
Yeah, it's not that new.
No, it's new to us. There you go.
That it is.
So other stuff.
We've had a restock.
Toe straps.
Toe straps. Unfortunately, we ordered these just about 2 hours before the black version came out, so the black version will be on another order for us.
Yep. But they are on the way.
We have the red and purple, which, as we've mentioned before, goes straight onto the HT suspension system on the back.
Yeah, fits with MST very well.
You just need to shim it to make your hinge pins sit at the same height they normally would.
Yeah.
Which I think was 0.6 of a mil, if I remember right, or 0.4 of a mil. But either way, if you buy one of those and a pack of the MST shims or the suspension mount spacers, you've got it covered.
Moving on, we have one thing that I'm going to get. Can't really see it too well there, but it's the Weld Technique Factory keyring.
The flame logo.
The original flame logo. This
is cool one.
This is old. This logo. This is like 15 years old now.
It's 15, still my favorite logo for Weld, for sure.
Yeah, it is the logo designed by Shadow, I believe. It could have been designed by Ito. I'm not actually sure on that.
I think that's pre-Shadow.
But when we were in Japan, Ito gave me, I think we've shown it at Waffle Time, a gold sticker of one of these.
I don't remember if we did or not.
And it was one he had in his drawer for 10 years. And he was like, I said, "Oh man, I really love this logo." And he said, "Aha, I've got something for you." And he went off in the back and popped out, and he had one of the original. They were like a gold chrome they did them in, and I had one like 10 years before, and he came and gave me one. So that was amazing. So we got those in. I'm going to be getting one of those for myself because that's just
again, all of their stuff isn't on our website yet because it literally just arrived before we went live.
Yeah,
and it won't be until later on because unfortunately I've got to go.
Yeah,
straight out.
Sadly.
We also finally have the new fancy servo mounts for Vacula and Deval that also pretty much fit everything else because it's a servo mount.
Yeah.
They are the ones with the fancy extra plaque that is mounted in a fancy way.
And technically, I think looking at it, the plaque would be, yes, it would be reversible. So it's something you could actually have engraved as well. So if you wanted to sort of badge your chassis as yours.
I like the way we've just got these really fancy new things. Let's make it even fancier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do. That's the whole point of Overdose. But yeah, you could do that. You could have your own custom plaque in it. But yeah, red, purple, and black, all in stock, all match with MST stuff. Color-wise, they're a very good match.
Yeah, the purple is slightly different, but it's close enough. I mean, if I put it this way, you probably won't be able to see this on camera, but I have Overdose arms on my you can do your leany thing and show it off. I have Overdose arms on my RMX, and they are purple, and my RMX is purple, and they are a slightly different purple, but they don't look obviously different until you actually look.
I think what it is, they're not so
much, a little bit more matte.
Yeah, it's the finish rather than the tone.
They are slightly darker for sure. For sure, there is a definite difference. If you look at that part there,
yeah,
I think it's also the way it catches the light because of the.
I think the red is fairly bang on, to be honest.
Pretty much.
But you'll have one of those mounts on later, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I have to work it out because it'll be a vertical mount.
But what I do like is that we're now at a point where Overdose stuff will go on to.
It's not. They'll be fine. I'm not being an idiot.
Well, the Overdose stuff will go on to MST.
Yeah.
So you can now have an overdosed MST.
I have a lot of Overdose parts on that. I have the front arms the rear arms and hubs. I have the dampers. I have the wheels.
Technically toe strap.
Toe strap, which is not on that chassis because I've moved on my rear wheel drive, but I'll probably have another one to put on that strap at some point.
No, you won't. You'll
I'll buy one, sorry.
Oh, you can do that,
yeah. And actually, I don't have an overdose servo horn on there for some reason, but I probably should at some point.
Just because you haven't got purple in yet. I think that'd be the only reason.
Not been in stock.
We've got pink. Yeah. If you want to clash a little bit. No.
I'd rather go gold, which we also have.
Yeah, we got gold. No. So anyway.
Oh, yes, I had the antenna post.
Oh, shush. Oh, you got that. Yeah, so we got a bunch of overdose stuff in. So if you would like overdose stuff, hurry up because it goes super fast.
Yeah.
I think we had shock oils in last week, and we've got like one each of them left. So
we will post up on Facebook when we've added all the stuff, which will hopefully be later today. Could possibly be tomorrow morning, depending on how long it takes me to get to Heathrow and back.
Yeah, so it'll be that, the AccuVance mega deal, and obviously Thunder Power's already on.
Thunder Power's already on there. That deal will probably only run, well, it will run until we clear our stock, essentially.
If people want to look at it this way, it's £4 more than a Core RC charger.
Yes.
Than our basic option.
For what I consider to be the best charger that money can buy.
Yeah.
And I've felt like that for a long time. We've tested a lot of chargers. I genuinely won't use anything else.
Yeah.
I won't even put my batteries
on. But we're on the last couple of them, so if you want them, be quick. Yeah, so that is about it because we are in a bit of a hurry today. What time are we on?
Oh, that's okay.
That's half an hour. We can.
It's been like 20 minutes actually.
Is it?
We're going super quick today, which is a bit of a bonus. Because I do have stuff to do before I can leave.
Because you've got to get to an airport. I can't sit on my own. It's just weird.
I might just bail in a minute and leave.
What did you do today? I watched a ginger man talk to himself on the internet.
Right, where are we? We only actually have a few questions today, which kind of suits us with our rush. We have a load of stupid questions that, or stupid comments that have led on from a typo, which if you haven't read it already, you might as well go check out our group.
It's about healthcare, isn't it?
It's feminine hygiene.
Feminine hygiene. Our favourite topic.
First question from Akhtar.
All right, Akhtar. Every week, super faithful. Thanks, man.
Violent snap during switchbacks. How to reduce it or control it? There's also settings involved.
If you have a lot of weight over the front, it tends to make it snap very quickly, but it can be quite uncontrollable.
The general thing as well for me is to slow things down on the chassis, slow your damping down, and maybe lose some of the aggressive settings that are on the chassis. Maybe take some of the toe out off on the front, and maybe just make sure the car's a bit better balanced if it's not already.
Yeah. I also find with,
kind of a bit of a general
with lower CS, so your wheel speeds are closer to each other, you tend to have more control over the snap as well. So if you're really high CS, it tends to run away the back end a little bit because obviously the wheel speed's much higher. But if your wheel speed is more even, so you're on 1.5, 1.6, then you can get a more accurate and sort of timed snap. So you can do a fast snap or a slow snap. But yeah, I mean, I run 1.7 and I think that's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, we'll get on to CS in a minute because we've got another question coming up about that anyway.
Okay. Okie
Sorry. The second question from Akhtar is, would you ever consider making a ranking system where drivers were given a title for ability? For example, Pro-Am, Semi-Pro, Pro. No. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever.
That sucks.
For two reasons. Firstly, that implies that we think we're
capable of doing that.
We're entitled to classify people's ability.
That's a fancier way of saying what I said.
It's also, for us, it's one of my pet hates with real drifting because it's absolutely stupid, because one of the guys who's in the amateur class can be much better than one of the guys that's in the top class.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been doing it as long.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, especially with the way a lot of the championships work these days, is you have to qualify through each group to be able to get to the top group.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean you're not as good. It just means you're not as experienced in terms of years committed to that particular championship.
Or you just came up against the Japanese world champion in your second battle. That happens too.
No, it doesn't. Never. That never happens. What happens is you suck and then you go out.
And then you cry.
And then you cry.
And bitch about it the whole time.
I genuinely don't think there's a reason to do that. The problem we also have is in the UK at the moment is people are kind of travelling not as much as they were to RC drift tracks. So, like for example, Actar, we haven't seen you drive for a year.
Yeah, man.
Something like that in person. So how could we couldn't give you a ranking.
Yeah.
And currently there's not that many people doing competitions.
And there's not that many people with the experience to kind of grade people either.
Yeah.
But I gotta say,
I just think the championship.
One of my
here is
pet hates is well, you've got I don't know what is it, BDC now that has
they
semi-pro
changed it.
And pro.
No, they fixed it all.
But it's semi-pro and pro now. It's not super pro.
I don't even remember, man.
But professional denotes that is your job, and I believe like maybe James Dean, Phil Morrison, Luke Fink, they're pro because that's their day job.
That's not Phil's day job. Isn't drifting. Phil's day job is selling drift parts.
But I only meant because it is a drift company.
Yeah, but even so, like he's not paid to drive. He's paid to.
I don't know. Do you think he pays himself to drive at this point?
No.
If he does, he's paying himself real good.
Not good enough, man.
That's right.
Can't afford $6,000 for a light.
Yeah, I know. Is it bad that I saw that and laughed?
No.
So a buddy Phil Morrison's got a Lamborghini Murcielago. This guy who owns Driftworks. Is it a Murcielago?
Yeah, Murcielago.
And he somehow Phil always manages to get himself in a calamity somehow, and he managed to break a headlight.
Lens,
and it's a new lens is £5,800. Is that plus VAT?
I think it's 4,800 plus VAT.
That is like it's an
you have to buy the whole
A86
unit.
Corolla for a piece of glass.
It's ridiculous. No, well, it's not just glass because he has to buy the whole unit, but he only needs the glass.
That sucks. That sucks. When I saw it, I laughed.
Do you know what I thought? Do you know the first thing I thought when I saw that? It's like, I would just ring up those Japanese GT cars and go, "You got any spare light lenses?"
Yeah, I saw you found them on eBay, didn't you? But I laughed because it's like that could only happen to Phil.
Anyway, next question. Yeah, we did answer that question, didn't we? We don't kind of believe in that. Right?
Yeah, we sort of answered that, and then we talked about a headlight. But anyway, carry on.
The only thing for me with that, going back to it, is the only classification I think there should be in any form of drifting is a championship, and even that doesn't really matter.
That also means that we're classified as nothing.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that.
I'm classified as 101st in the world. I'm okay with that.
I don't even know. I don't even care.
Anyway, Gary Evans has said,
all right, Gary.
CS, what do you and Mitto run and why? Pros and cons of high CS? I believe, I actually can't remember because I haven't changed my CS for a long time. I believe I'm on 1.8 or 1.9.
1.8, I think you're on.
No, because I might even be on 1.7. It's somewhere between 1.7 and 1.9. Because
you're on 1.7.
I was on 1.8 and then I changed to the gear drive. And I can't remember what. I've actually changed my pulleys recently.
Well, I'm on 1.7.
My gears in the.
And my reason is it feels pretty.
Kind of feels about right. I haven't changed mine since before.
We used to be crazy high CS. Used to be, oh man, we got 2.1. Let's go nuts. Then now we're more focused on the overall control. And you can get as much steering angle with 1.7 as you can with 2.1. It's technique.
We have slightly different beliefs on when it comes to CS, or more to the point, learning counter steer with CS.
He just doesn't understand.
I'm just better. It's fine. 101st, man. You don't even know where you are. Essentially, I think personally that high CS. When I say high CS, I mean over 2. When I'm talking about high. Because
over 1.8 really 1.7 1.8 that's where it starts getting into high CS.
Yeah, but
if you think that
for me, if you've got a triple X, the gearing that I choose to run because it gives you all the options without having to mess around with pinion gears and stuff like that is 1.3 1.6 and 2. That is changing one gear to go between the 3, and so that's kind of the range that I think everyone with the triple X should run. So I think with the RMX, I generally would recommend people, if they're running here, just go to 1.8 and see what they think. That's the starting point. But when you start going to when you start going to higher than that, if I've done it, I've been on stupid CS, particularly with that 275 dib that I had.
Yeah.
I was on 3.8 or something like that.
Yeah, some
I did it to test, but you're not as in control as you could be. And if you want to, my logic is, if you want to run extreme rear bias, why don't you just go rear-wheel drive?
Yeah.
You know,
at this point, it makes more sense.
Rear-wheel drive looks more realistic.
I think once you're up to 2.1, if
yeah.
you want to go further than that, just go rear-wheel drive and do yourself a favour.
The things with, I think there are some advantages and some disadvantages to running sort of the slightly lower CS, like the 2. I think one of the things me and Mitto disagree on is how to learn
Korigashi.
Front Korigashi. I think it's easier with the higher CS, whereas Mitto thinks it's easier with the lower CS. But that's because we do things differently, the same as Mitto.
No, I agree with you where it's easy with the higher CS, but it's better learning with lower CS.
But for me, to grasp the concept, you have to experience it.
With high CS. Yeah, it makes it more obvious.
You know what I mean? So I think it's easier.
So we don't agree completely, but we don't disagree either.
Exactly. So yeah, essentially, don't run high CS, just run fun CS.
Yeah,
that's my logic.
Run CS that gives you the control and the steering angle.
Yeah.
And a happy feeling in your pants.
Jamie Fisher has asked, any chance of bringing triple class back, or maybe something new and fun to comp weekends? We would, but currently there's not that many competitors, so there's not enough people to.
We could just do it anyway in the evening for a laugh.
We can do it on the Saturday, but on the Sunday for rear-wheel drive, there's kind of not really that many people.
No.
To have a few teams, so it doesn't really make sense. With it being the summer and a bit quiet and stuff.
That basically means come and do rear-wheel drive as well, and then those guys can do it as well.
We will. I don't know. I've been testing something this morning before I came into work as a potential option for a fun thing, but we'd like to do more fun things. If anyone has any specific ideas that aren't going to involve destroying our track, just send us a little quiet message.
I quite like those quadcopters where you can shoot each other.
I quite like the Easter games we played, man. Egg and spoon race and stuff.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. Andy Brunton, I forgot his surname then because he's down as Andy Drifter on Facebook.
Andy Brunton.
Is there any chance of any later nights? I want to come and play, but work is crippling me. We ran a later night 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
We did. And, where were you?
Yeah.
Is there any chance of some days off?
Well, the problem we have is we will happily stay later if it's worth the effort and time and money that it costs us. But when we're quiet and there's 4 people wanting us to stay open later, then kind of not worth it.
Especially when our standard, my standard day on a Saturday is 12 hours plus driving to work and everything else. So it's a long day for me.
Ben Clinton has asked, when are you getting the adjustable offset MST wheels in?
Hi, Ben.
MST anyway. Next order, we're getting some in. We're not going to get absolutely loads in. We're going to see how they go because there's not until you and Tim have mentioned it. No one's really mentioned wanting them. So
no.
I haven't ordered a bunch.
Tetsujin is kind of on the forefront with that stuff, and
Rory has asked.
All right, Rory.
He's asked basically, it's a long-winded question, but he wants us to move the comp weekend. It's unlikely we will move the comp weekend because
we will change all of our dates just for Rory.
Well, Rory and 3 or 4 of the usuals apparently, but we'll see. I'll have a look at what options are out. We've chosen our dates based on other events and other things going on in our lives and stuff like that. So it's unlikely we'll change it. Plus, there's also people already booked in on the current date, so it kind of messes things around. So unless there's any unless there's any news, we're not changing. Essentially,
sorry.
Andrew Hutchinson has asked about the possibility of running national competitions at different venues, i.e. one at Seoul, one at TRCC, one at Rat Trap, one at Rad Shape.
Thought about this.
We thought about it. We tried to set it up for this year. We came into a load of grief from other venues. We came into a load of other venues trying to charge us a crap load of money to rent the venue, based on the fact that we may sell products there and things like that, and bumping the price up to 4 times the price when they found out we were going to sell tires and things. It's a lot of hassle, and to be perfectly honest, it's not really worth it for us. It's much harder for us to coordinate. And
however, we would love to.
We want to, but the hassle we encountered put us off quite a lot. To be perfectly blunt, we thought people would be all for it, and in actual fact, we got a load of grief, and we got told basically to stay away. So from some people, it's something we'd like to do. It's something we envisage we would be able to do this year, but it's not that easy to coordinate when people don't want you to. Simple as that. When it also has got to the point now where
never say never. Never say never.
Exactly. we may look at it for next year, but attitudes need to change for me. But we'll see. Martin Hansen from Denmark, not Norway.
Martin Hansen from
Because I messed
Denmark.
that up before and really offended him. I'm very sorry.
Speak funny over there. Oh, Jens.
Essentially, he's just been driving his Triple X for the first time. He got second place overall in the competition he was at last weekend.
Of course.
He's got quite a cool looking Triple X, actually.
So look. Ooh.
Silver with some black stuff from the looks of it.
Ooh.
His question is, the car felt a little twitchy in fast transitions. Will a sway bar help me eliminate that problem?
Not necessarily.
No, it depends on too many things. That's one element, but essentially give your car to Jens and say, Jens, make it slower. Slower to transition. That's what I would do. Now, essentially, like I mentioned before for the question we had at the start, who I forgot, I think Acto asked, I would try slowing your dampers down. I would try messing with your ride heights.
Maybe lower CS.
Maybe lower CS. Maybe even change your damper positions. Give it a try, because it might be a feeling thing that's throwing you off.
Yeah. Or if you have a Samoa, maybe adjust the feeling.
Yep. There's lots of different things you can
actually
do.
A really good trick on the Samoas is to adjust the steering. If you go into racing mode and then you go into curve and you've got a steering curve, and leave it on the point at 50, but you can increase the percentage for the rate, maybe up to about 10% maximum or minus 10% maximum. But that will basically, what I use that for is when I switch, I use it to speed up my steering in the middle of the range, so that when I switch, the steering's faster or slower, so that when I hit the right angle, the steering hits that angle at the same time. So it makes the car move in a more controllable fashion. So yeah, racing, curve, adjust the rate. Next question.
That's kind of our questions done, which is good timing because I need to go.
Yes, you do. Because Lassa will now be on a plane thinking, I hope they save me.
Yeah, I hope they actually pick me up.
I'm super hyped to see what all those guys think of our carpet.
I'm super hyped to see how quickly they adapt to it, because it is very different to what they will be used to in theory.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be fun. I'm looking forward to doing some driving today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to just running with these guys. Every time I've driven with Lassa, he's been in like competition mode.
Yeah.
And from see what he's like,
he's professional, man. He's always in competition mode.
It's all about
the war stance.
Yeah. It's like the tennis serve stance. It's like getting ready. But yeah. Anyway, we best go. We've got crap loads to do, and I need to be on the M1 about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, we'll catch you next week with hopefully some new stock in. Newer MST stuff should, in theory, be with us in the next week or so. Not entirely sure yet, but shouldn't be too much longer. Get on the charger discount while you can. Hand on heart, that's my favorite charger in all of the world. And the AccuVant stuff will be available in the next 24 hours, hopefully on a web shop, or at the very latest on Monday morning. And it will not be a permanent discount. It will be for a limited time. So jump on it while you can. So like and favorite this shit. Become a Norwegian Viking today. Sweet. That's us. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Homakavula. Bye. And who'd you what's it?